Ringa. Okay, excuse me, because I know y'all can probably see, like, why she dirty? No, don't worry about it. Look, there was a lot going on today that I don't know about, clearly. Anyway.
Welcome to the program.
Welcome to another edition of the T&T podcast. I am T.
I'm TC.
We welcome you guys. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to it.
Yeah. We've come up with a name for our people, right? Well, we didn't even talk about it, but we did kind of talk about it. But if you want to discuss it now, we can.
Yeah, we can. We came up with, sorry y'all, some little Chile.
Yes.
Up in here.
That's why I was sure to wear a jacket and
And socks.
Thick socks, not summer socks.
Don't come over here in those summer socks
Winter
and tank tops because the AC is pumping and it's jumping. I was just very sad because I broke my nail.
Natural nails.
No, not right now. That's why I called you. Please go upstairs. Anyway, hopefully no one saw her. They probably wondering who she's talking to.
Yeah, I don't think that entity was visible.
Okay, good. Anyway, so we have definitely come up with did we come up with a name for our people or did we come up with a name? No, yeah, we know because we said the group chats. No.
Well,
no.
Well, maybe, did I put that in the text about the bombshells? Or maybe I just wrote that in the YouTube.
I think you might have wrote it in the actual description, and we definitely did not discuss that in any capacity. Because I'm like this, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, whoops. Okay, well, yeah.
Well, so the bombshells. I love that.
Okay.
So we have a whole name for our community that we just came up with. Welcome, Bombshells.
Yes, the Bombshells.
Absolutely.
Appropriate. We are the TNT
I think it's
podcast.
Definitely appropriate.
TNT, dynamite.
Dynamite.
Explosive.
Sorry, I'm a little corny. It's okay.
Well, explosive, life-related
playing on that whole...
Yeah. Dropping
tick,
knowledge.
Tick, tick.
Love, wisdom,
wealth
fun,
and health, entertainment, prosperity, the Lord God Almighty, travel, food.
Yeah.
All
things. Things life. All the, the good bombs and the bad bombs.
And it was so imperative for us too to really just kind of like jump out there and just like, okay, we just need to just start and post because we have backgrounds in this. Like, we're both educated. I don't even know. What did your degree is in?
Journalism.
Broadcast
news.
Okay. So my degree is in mass communication with a concentration in television and film. But then I ended up going to school specifically for broadcasting and journalism.
Right.
So this is what we do. Both worked at the radio station.
Yes.
So the background is there. Like, we know, we are all the things.
Experienced producers.
Producing, editing, engineering, all of the things, content creation. This is something that we was doing even before, I promise, before anybody was ever even saying podcast.
For sure.
Like, but,
So, yeah, it's not a matter of know-how or skill set.
Yeah.
I think for us, and I think we've talked about this, it's, mental.
Mm-hmm.
Like
being
you said,
out there.
Putting ourselves out there and just doing it.
Because we're both like private people. Like, it's like, you don't need to know my business, what I got going on in any capacity.
Yeah. Now, see, and we are millennials. So that we didn't grow up with putting like regular people business out on the street.
No, we had you had your little like girl back and forth conversation. Like, girl, I heard, you know what I'm saying? But when you
on
even think,
phone.
But I honestly do believe that even if we just wouldn't even been wanting to be a part of it, because it was almost like it's that whole the snitching and telling on people, and you know what I'm saying? It's like, if you wasn't there, then you shouldn't know what happened. You know what I'm saying? Because you weren't there.
Right. I think we just, I think too, personalities you play a part for sure, but just the technology of the times where we grew up, it just didn't allow for such open, vulnerable expression and presentation. That was saved for the tabloids and the news. Entertainment Tonight.
And there you go. You said the key word, that whole tabloid thing. Because if you really think about how journalism actually shifted, where you have people who are not educated and have no degree or background or proper training, but for whatever reason, they swear up and down that they're journalists. But who am I to say?
You know what I'm saying? They are these are bloggers, right?
Right. But wait, let me make a point before I lose it. Okay. I was wrapping it around the fact that you had your BBC News. Mm-hmm. You weren't going to go on BBC News and see Kim Kardashian went to somebody's wedding.
No, because that's not news.
So where now they separated that. So you had your tabloids and your National Enquirers and all of those types of salacious magazines, right? And it was separated from real news, right? Whereas now
it's based on facts.
We think we base it on
and investigate, ask questions. Mm-hmm. The celebrity stuff is like, whoever is making that publication, it's whatever's in their imagination. It don't have to be true.
But that's what I'm saying. And so we went from literally knowing and respecting and actually holding space and actually keeping it of regard in real news, real actual facts. This is going on. This is happening. How, when, what, and where. Whereas now we're actually coupling it together, is merging together, is bleeding over into each other. So now you have whether or not Kim Kardashian said whatever she said, and also too that we're now currently in World War III.
Yeah, there was typically an entertainment segment on the newscast, the news broadcast. I get where you're saying, like, when we are getting our news from places
that are not
traditionally spaces that have principles that adhere, journalistic
integrity,
right?
Integrity, because that's what journalism is. If you really go into what we even learned in classes and what you learned in those actual college courses, they talked a lot about integrity, making sure that your ethics, making sure that you was doing your due diligence, not just taking what they said because you don't like them and then drawing up a story. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, based off of that. You're taking
information, you're analyzing it, you're
going to talk to the people.
You're going to talk to people who are actually there and involved. You are just you're reporting. You're not opinionizing.
Yes, it doesn't matter whether or not you actually like him. Who cares? Because that's what it seems like nowadays is. Well, whether or not you agree. Do you agree? You didn't ask the actual interviewer, do they agree? If you really go back to, for real, if you go back to like a lot of your Barbara Walter days, you know what I'm saying? Your Brian Gumbles, like you're not sitting there asking Brian Gumble, so do you agree? Like you're not asking him that, because it's a setup. The setup is, I'm going to ask you some questions and you're going to give me some answers. If you don't want to answer, that's totally fine. But I am not the one being interviewed. Yeah, I am the interviewer.
It wasn't really a conversation per se.
Absolutely not.
It was more of it's always an interview.
It is an interview. Yes, because that's what an interview is.
You're verifying what you've heard, learned, read.
You go to the interview to get the job
directly with the source.
You gave me a resume that said that you can actually complete the task. I would like to interview you to ask you some more questions on whether or not this is actually something you can do.
Yes. So yeah, is this the reality or not? Like, is what we've been hearing true? Did you say this? Were you there? Journalists are really, the public accountability police.
They are the advocate. They are the advocate for the public.
Yeah.
That's why
they should be. They should be.
It should be. That's why over time it was we changed up the laws and allowing the media to be present in courtrooms and different places like that, because I know it came out in a different way, but ultimately the undertone was we do want to give the public the ability to know what's happening versus,
cameras in the courtroom.
Yeah. I know it definitely went left because it has went.
For sure. For me, most famously, the O.J. Simpson trial. But didn't there were cameras in the courtroom for the Johnny Depp, Amber Heard?
That's after the fact, though.
Well, that's today, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but O.J. Simpson's case, if I'm not mistaken, was one of the first ones.
Sure.
Where cameras were let into the courtrooms. Because you couldn't see when, I think, because that was like right after the Rodney King incident. So exactly.
Police beating.
They wasn't going to tell us what was going on there. We just stood outside the courtroom and heard guilty or not guilty.
Why was the O.J. Simpson trial the first one to be, or one of the first to be, allowed to have cameras in the courtroom? Because I'll just answer for the people, celebrity. So we were just, news versus celebrity gossip. If it had been a regular non-celebrity person, those cameras wouldn't be in there. Somehow that's less compelling, and we know that's not true because all you watch is ID channel.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? True, and
those are facts.
And I'm speaking to your love of true crime.
Okay.
Along with, several hundreds of millions and thousands of people out there watching those same programs. Like, yeah, you want to be in the courtroom. But it wasn't done really for the public education. It was done for television, ratings, for advertisers to make money, and all of that comes along with television production. Because lest we forget, the television and the radio are number one marketing tools and secondarily information sharing devices.
And I'm listening to you, but I was just thinking to that, because O.J. Simpson trial was in 1995. Okay. It made me think about the Menendez brothers. So the Menendez brothers' original trial was this retrial was in 1995. The first charge, I'm going to say, was in 1989.
Really? So there were cameras
1989.
Were there cameras in the courtroom?
In the retrial, they denied it. They said no. Brothers defense, blah, 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 blah. 1989, there were I don't believe it was like a whole thing. Hold on, because this is not giving me clarity.
And there is a difference between having news cameras in the courtroom versus
and it being playing on. And exactly. And also, too, yes, because I think for whatever reason, in 1989, there was like media, whoever, probably specifics, that were allowed in the courtroom, but you couldn't report until after the trial was over. Mm-hmm. So in 1995, when they got retrial, 1993, when they got a retrial, they said no. So it was no court, so it was no cameras. Mm-hmm. But directly right after that, O.J. Simpson's trial happened, and it was cameras.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure before I answered the way I wanted to answer. I'm like, well, because we are trying to give you facts. The reality is that it is celebrity, because when I remember the detective Folk, for whatever reason, I remember his name because they was actually trying to pin it on him, saying that he was the one that planted the glove and all of the things, because he was like one of the two officers that were first on the scene. But so he had made a comment, and he said he immediately knew when he realized who house it was. He was like, oh, this is gonna be a shit show. Mm-hmm. He was like, because he was like, we really didn't expect it to be turned. He said nobody expected it to be any of this. He like, you go into crime scenes every single day, all day. You have zero idea what you're gonna get. He was like, but we knew the area, knew it was of affluent and I'm saying, a high profile case, but they didn't know how high profile it was going to be. But then it took a real left turn when they started to get the white attorney.
Kardashian?
The main one, the big one. Kardashian. Shapiro. And then, he kind of got upset because then Johnny Cochran came on. And Johnny Cochran was just supposed to be like a sub, you know what I'm saying? But he ended up being the face of it. So it turned into this whole thing. We got the Johnny Cochran attorney at law. He's black. OJ's black.
He's charismatic.
Very charismatic. They want to give him a fair trial, but are you really going to get a fair trial? All of those things played a part. But I mean, the bottom line, he killed that lady anyway. Moving on. Because he murdered her, slaughtered her, as he did.
And I've recently learned
and that man, and rest in peace to that man too, because we always talk about Nicole Brown, and I think we forget that there was another person murdered just as
Ron dude?
Yeah, Ron Goldman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
Because who else was living there?
It was an actor.
Yeah, and he had some reality TV.
He did
notoriety at some point.
Mm-hmm. And he said many things that he was, terrified and all of those things. But we was bringing that up because we was just pointing out the fact of just how they media and actually allowing things to bleed over into each other. I do miss the days where I could cut on just regular news and you're going to see real news.
Well, I think now we have to, this is a time where we have to start using our brains again. The critical thinking muscle, it's either going to turn to mush because you're just not going to do the work.
Cheers to that.
Or
cheers to using your brain.
Get strong. And cheers to lemon water and Chardonnay.
Listen, you when I tell you, I said to myself just the other day, I have conversations with people, and sometimes I'm sitting here thinking to myself like, oh, you really are like stupid.
What? Okay.
Like, and it's not to say that I am just so smart, but I am pretty intelligent. I do read. If you are a person who don't look at nothing except for a TikTok, the scroll, you don't have no desire to read, understand what's going on. I'm a documentary freak. What are they talking about? Sometimes you sit there, have conversations with people, and their response or their inability to respond or even comprehend anything of what you're saying, you literally be feeling like, I don't know, I automatically shut down because I don't like talking to people and you don't understand what I'm saying. My inside say, shut down, be quiet. Because if I keep talking, I feel like I'm looking stupid as hell. because I'm trying to explain something to you, and you are not even on.
Yeah, I mean, too much energy.
It's way too much energy. So it's like, and then not even that, because it could be also two people you love and you respect,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like, I'm gonna just be quiet, because it's not. This is not computing. Either I'm not getting what you're saying, or you completely
Yeah.
more. But yeah, I truly do believe that this is definitely a time where if we do not pour into using our brains, figuring out where to go, leave the GPS alone. You know where you need to go. You know generally where you're going.
Yeah, get back to basics.
Get back to the basics.
I mean, that's really that's a business opportunity, honestly, to create a program, a weekend, even a couple hours in a day where you lock up the phones, you go in the woods.
Yes, find your way out.
You have a guided
something
activity.
Yes, some kind of trusting. Can we start a forest?
Yeah. Or these plants are edible and these are not. You're
Absolutely.
learning about the world.
That's what we did in Girl Scouts.
Curious. You're looking at the animals. Oh my God, are there animals out here? You know, because you're not looking at the AI cats singing and doing weird things.
We're doing weird things. Also, too, not even you're correct. You're hitting on the right things, because the reality is that natural occurrences, outside activity, genuine connections, that stuff is kind of like foreign. It's like, that's not real. That's why you have dating apps. If you even think about that aspect of it, it's like, now you can't even organically meet anybody, because we really all in the house somewhere.
Do you know? You know people who use apps?
Dating apps?
Yeah.
Not anybody in my circle or associates. I don't know anybody that does.
Have you ever?
In no capacity.
Yeah.
That ain't my thing. I'm a old fashioned girl, honey. Listen, somebody better know you, and you better tell somebody how much you like me, and we'll see if we mesh well. Yeah, because it's definitely not going to be me on the app, me and anybody that I've talked to in my past, or even present day. I don't talk to anybody in my present day, but
romantically.
Romantically. Anybody that I was in any kind of romantic situation with was because I knew them.
Yeah, beforehand.
Yeah, beforehand. Like, this is my cousin's boyfriend's brother, or this is, we went to high school together, or I know him, we was in elementary school. Yeah, his mother used to work at my mother's job. All of that. Mm-hmm. I'm like, literally almost everybody, and then even the people that I did meet, like, just randomly, it was random outings. Yeah. And you tried to talk to me, and I was reciprocating that, and receiving that, and honey, and the things sparkled, a little sparkle, razzle dazzle.
Wasn't it fun? Spring break. I wonder how spring break is now, but it wouldn't have been as fun if we was worried about
cameras.
Instagram,
no,
and
no,
and dating apps and such.
Oh no.
But dang, you was talking about dating. I had a thought about
because you said, have you ever been on a dating app? Because I was saying naturally just meeting people, because ultimately we don't. We're all in the house somewhere, so it's like you don't get an opportunity to really just do the natural occurrences and experiences. Like, today such and such and such and such. It's like,
and it really takes more effort to get to know people, because we are kind of like in our own little caves or bubbles of influence. And if you don't have to talk to somebody, you don't. You could just be in your car. You could go through the drive-through. You don't have to go inside anywhere. Sometimes and then you don't even have to leave your house. Everything is delivered to you. Before, that was just a rich people thing. And now anybody who at least has some kind of debit card, you can have food stamps and have groceries delivered to you. So, it's just now it's like you have to choose to be in community.
Absolutely. And I think that that's the flip side of what we're experiencing, even what, just what we're experiencing, the shopping conspiracy, buy now, the overconsumption of things, is that, we over consuming, but we're not over consuming in the right areas.
I remember my point about dating.
Please say it.
I've been watching The Gilded Age.
Okay.
On HBO. The Gilded Age is like the time in America when the railroads barons and were super rich off of shipping, and there were factories and labor unions and all that time of that sort of thing. The same time period as Peaky Blinders.
So like Peaky the primitive Blinders? Stages of America in the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. Okay.
Thomas Edison had lit up the buildings, and
Vanderbilt, you got Carnegie, you got the Rothschilds,
apparently
all of them.
If the history is correct through this television program, fictionalized, right? The Metropolitan Opera sprang up during this time. Okay, so, but the dating, how it relates to that is, it's making me think about relationships, like marriage, and how people actually come together and for what reason, because it still happens today, but it's not talked about
it's not front page news
as more popularly as like love relationships, but being married as like two families coming together as a business, as a way to preserve,
create assets, generational wealth, and capitalize, and all of that.
Preserve and grow assets, and basically like join forces. You know what I mean?
So you're saying the intentions on the dating, versus now,
right? And so, am I marrying or dating for love? Am I looking for love? Am I looking for like to live a good life, to be stable and know I'm taken care of? Because think about it, like, and they talk about it in the show, of course, but women today have way more power and mobility,
opportunity,
and
for
opportunity.
Sure.
If we're talking about, the railroads first being built, that time you had to.
You had to get a husband. Absolutely. You went out there on the railroad.
If you were working, you were a maid,
a secretary, possibly. Yeah, absolutely.
Secretary means you know how to read.
Yeah.
So, and that was not as common as you might think, as one, anybody out there might think. But so like when we think about our relationships and who we're deciding to commingle with or interface with, like the values and the priorities of these romantic relationships and encounters, like they're just so much different now, even though money and having assets is still a big part of it,
right? Of course,
but it is focused on. But I think, for me and my experience of society and the world, like I feel like that romance and that love part is pushed more in terms of like an actual committed coupleship. The money part mostly comes in when you're talking about we out here, and it's single people talking about, oh, if you ain't got this and that
goofy behavior.
Right? Yeah. So watching The Gilded Age, it just puts it
highlighted how far we've drifted from really, in my opinion, the right way to do it.
What, like as a partnership between families?
Yeah. And I don't even want to say families, because I don't necessarily, because maybe your mom and daddy ain't involved. I don't know. You get what I'm saying? But it's a partnership between me and you.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. It's the partnership between your last name my last name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, but we develop and we build based off of your community of your people, my community of our people, and we come together. That's like that old man who's 93 years old and his video goes very viral and everybody, he talks about the value of marriage. He said, he's hundreds, billions, like he's stupid money. He's like, I mean, I'm only who I am because of my wife. He said, I chose right. He said, we weren't running around and trying to compete against each other. He said, he said, because I did have the idea and this is going to be a great idea. He said she jumped in like nobody's business. He said she started a lot of the stuff that I didn't even know needed to be done to even get it done. While I was doing what I knew to do, she was doing behind the scenes stuff. He said that ultimately it just built and built. He said, I literally got to the point where I don't ask her for her advice. I just lay the scenario on the table. He like every single time she got an answer for it. Yeah, but that's partnership, and they developed over that years and years of listening to each other, respecting each other. I actually value you. So if you tell me, Talitha, that's not the right outfit to wear to this event, I don't need to be combative and say, well, this is what I want to wear. If I value you as my husband, I need to take heed on why he said that. Yeah,
you trust the opinion.
I'm instantly going to change. Like, oh, yeah, let's go figure this out, honey. Should I wear the blue or the yellow?
Yeah, I mean, in that dynamic,
like, what is we doing here? Like,
you know, there's a spectrum to that too, and depending on the personality of the people involved, there's more or less of that on both sides to where enough there should be a balance, right?
Right.
So, I think tension comes in and that unbalancedness, when it's unbalanced, when the two people like aren't united, because you can have different goals. Like you talked about that couple, they ran a business together, they built a business together. You can have a couple who fully support each other in what they are doing on their ends in their own particular career. But if you're with somebody who is career minded and you're more of a let's do everything together person, not career minded, individual,
like entrepreneur?
Yeah, no. Like you have a different goal. You want to pursue your goal, right?
Okay, and they want to pursue theirs.
And they want your goal to be our goal.
Okay, so you trying to do it individually. They said we need to do this as a couple.
Yeah, like why can't we just
partner up in this?
Yeah, and that's two different. They want two different things. That's what I'm pointing
we shouldn't
out
even be together.
So there are times when people want two different things, but they align in the support of each other. When you get I think in my experience, the combativeness that comes in when the two people, they don't agree, so they're not allowing each other to be and do what they need to do in their way, versus supporting and being like, okay, you got it, I got you, what you need, I got it, let me know.
So
versus I gotta be involved and we need to be, all this. I've experienced that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it doesn't work. And it doesn't work because it's just like as humans, we all want the same things, but we have different ways of going about it. In a relationship is like that too.
And honestly, you're saying everything correct. I just want to add is the fact that nobody is taking the time out to really find out who and what they want individually.
Exactly.
Before you decided to be in a committed relationship with somebody else and their wants and their needs.
Yeah.
So you're coming already to the relationship crippled. You're crippled. You are disabled in a sense because you have zero idea on how you even want to show up in this relationship.
And that happens a lot because a lot of times people just know they want a relationship.
And that's the thing.
They want a relationship.
And so that's exactly what is so, taking the time out for myself and being by myself, seriously being by myself, not out here doing anything. It allows you to reset, realign. Let me just kind of, recalibrate this entire situation because I'm clearly not moving the way I want to move. And it's not because, you've been, me personally, because I've been in so many horrible relationships. That ain't even my story. But my story is the fact that maybe I wasn't even understanding what I want, how I want to show up, what I want you to show up looking like. So when you meet Ashley or you meet Robert or whatever the situation is, and y'all come together and immediately we're having sex.
Oh, what happened to Stacy?
What happened to her?
Ashley took over.
No, it's always Stacy and Ashley or Rebecca. It's three of them. Yeah, it's three.
All right.
Yep.
Robert. Is there more?
No, it's always Robert, but it's always Ashley, Stacy, or Rebecca.
Okay.
Yes, thoroughly. You'll realize that everybody's name is Ashley, Stacy, Rebecca. If I'm trying to say something about somebody, I'm going to give them a random name.
Those are T's, John and Jane Doe.
Absolutely.
Variants.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, welcome. We digress.
But ultimately, when you are not aware of that, me taking that time to say, you know what, Talitha, you probably really want your man to be this. And you want to really show up in relationships looking like this. So now that I actually have that understanding, it's no shade to anybody else, but you can't play with me. I'm very clear of what I want. And I already know that you may not even be providing that. Mm-hmm. So we're not even about to play the game. Mm-hmm. Most of the time,
because the people that you end up dating, you already know them.
I already know them. And you also know me. And you also know what you're getting to. You're coming over here for a specific reason. You're not trying to talk to me because of anything else. You coming for a certain reason. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, but the reality of it is that if you don't know who you are, you get into these relationships. And if you want to be, you know what? I want to start this trucking business and, whatever the situation is, and you want to do that on your own, and your partner is saying, hey, no, let's do that together. And you don't want to do that together. You have already told me you don't want to be with me. We have no business moving forward because that's literally like coming to... If we're going to be in a relationship, then that means that we should be working towards a goal. What is the goal? Mm-hmm. For me, the goal is to be married. So I'm definitely not about to spend 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever you want to say, years with you for nothing. Because we having sex, the sex is good. Or, we have a good time.
It's fun.
It's fun. We having a great time. But you cute, but we're going nowhere. I actually have a trajectory on where I'm trying to go.
Honestly, now that's actually a distraction.
It is, because I have a trajectory of where I wanted to go. And you came in, and then I looked at you and said, oh, would you like to come on a ride with me? And you like, nah. Well, what you here for? Like, why did you come over here? You should probably please leave me alone because we don't align. We're not meshing well. So it doesn't make any sense. But a lot of the times we too busy caught up in the physical aspect and the sex and all of that. And it's like, you're now allowing those red flags to just fly.
So what do you think about, do you have any thoughts on arranged marriage? Because that was really a big part
of the Gilded Age.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, because that is
Now this was at a time when America there's a lot of change, so that old colonial way of doing things was kind of they're showing like the shifts, right? So now these girls they want to choose
They
who
want
their
to choose
husbands
they
are going to
always
be.
do.
So that's one of the conflicts. But what do you think about arranged marriages?
What would you? Let me hear what your thoughts would be.
I used to be of the thought where like, yeah, like pick for me, like, cause then that's done, and hopefully, like
it's a good situation.
It's a good situation,
right?
Because typically the people doing the choosing and the vetting care about you.
It's intentional. We definitely don't want you to be with no Robert who's out here beating the hell out you.
But that happens.
That does happen
because I part of the culture of
Red Robin came
your family.
That is a great sign.
Oh yeah, it is.
Because he comes all the time, but for him to come on recording is amazing.
Yep.
Moving on.
Hello, Mr. Robin.
Hello.
Yeah, and but I feel like, what were we saying?
You were saying about the Gilded Age and the actual picking and choosing of the marriages.
Yeah.
And you said
so you asked me if
you said that you used to think probably pick for me.
Yeah, like
that part is complete.
Because I'm very like, okay, like if you think it's good, okay, let's go.
You are very much that way.
Yeah.
I'll be having to force her. Like, we'll have 3 options. I'm like this. Okay, what would you choose? I'm like, yeah, I like this. She'd be like, yeah, okay, I'll roll with that. It's like, no.
Yeah.
What would you like?
I mean, if it's a situation where we just got to get it done, like, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Even I'm like that with clothes. I'm like that with everything. Like,
yeah.
If I have to do this,
make a fuss about it, and all that is too much.
So in that respect, like I am really getting to know like what I actually like versus just doing something because it's convenient, it's hurry up. I just want to get it done so I can go do what I want to do. That's really been my life pattern. Like, let's just hurry up and do this, and or I'm either dragging my feet about stuff. Anyway,
different episode.
Yeah, whole other conversation. But dating, yeah. And now, no. I mean, the more you live, the more you realize, like, again, if you don't know who you are, if you don't know what you like, if you're just going along to get along and just allowing other people to make decisions for you, I mean, you're our number one healthcare advocate. I love a PPO plan.
Yeah, because you need to be able to pick out where you want to go, honey.
But there's a set amount. I know what I'm going to pay when I go to get a service.
Thoroughly. For
a prescription, for that HMO garbage. No. I grew up. Now we didn't grow up on Medicaid, but we grew up on Kaiser, and that's what it was.
Kaiser Permanente.
We went to see the doctor. My mother paid the same amount. I had to do that. And then I had a baby. I was on Medicaid for years. What is the co-insurance, deductible?
Co-insurance, your deductible and your copay.
HSA, FSA, etc., etc. I'm used to... I bring all that up to just illustrate. I'm used to it being laid out. This is what we're going to do. And I just follow the plan.
Gotcha.
So, and in that way, like you're allowing other people to decide. Like I was used to that. Like I knew my path in life was going to be graduate from high school, go to college, get married, have kids, be happy, be rich, be fulfilled. It doesn't really go that way. It didn't really go that way at all.
And I was waiting for you to be done because I wanted to speak. No, I mean, not saying it like that, but like I was just sitting in my head like that go to me before I answer how I feel about, arranged marriages, that portion of the Gilded Age and all of that, and them showing the transition into it being a colonial style
to
Western civilization, you know what I'm saying, that over your decisions and where you're going. I feel as though that this is just me just being transparent. I feel as though that because we were the way we came over here and being enslaved and all of those different things and being deprived from having to worry only about that. It removed that being a focal point. I'm not worried about who you go marry. We need to worry about how we gonna eat. You get what I'm saying? So it's like when that was a privilege to be able to make those decisions and say, I'm having children. Johnny is going to play the flute and work with the orchestra. They have the organization. We have the people. He's going to go to this school because they have the actual grant. He's going to take the scholarship. He'll be done in 4 years. As soon as he's done, he's going to marry Ashley Madison because her family is tied to that. They already know each other. It's automatic. It is laid out for us. Yes, in that sense, that's laid out, but it's still coupled with the unknown. You still out there doing it on your own. Whereas they were coupled with wealth, legacy, privilege, you know what I'm saying, that actually allowed them. So to my point of saying that, and to answer the question all at once, I'm on the fence. I feel like it's something that really we need to get back to. But also too, on that flip side, we got to rally up and create community and support.
Yeah, because who are we arranging?
Because who are we? That's
and then also it's not for everybody. There should be room for
not a mandatory. You're gonna you're not no, none of that. You should be able to, but it should be a thing where 100%. Yeah, he's a nice guy. Let me introduce, because a lot of the times your mothers, I know everybody don't have great parents and all of that, but your mother knows you. She knows you. My mother gets on my nerve, but that is my girl. She knows me. She literally said to me, she said, Talitha, I know for a fact that you need an older man. I said, why do you feel that way? She's been saying that since I was young. Not young, inappropriate young, but young, like college young. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, you need an older man. And I said, why? Why? She said, because you're very assertive. She said, you very much know what you don't want. She said, and sometimes that can come off very aggressive. She was like, and she said, and men don't like that. She said, but the reason why you do that is because you feel like you have to. He's not doing it. And you feel like, I said, the way she brought that down to me, I was very shocked that she knows that, because it's true. I need you to tell me where we're going. If you keep asking me, what do I want to eat? I don't even want nothing.
Yeah.
I just want you to take me to go get something to eat.
Because there are those relationships where it's like whatever. Well, what do you want? Whatever you want, and then
it's like, listen, and once again, like you just said, the same way I'm used to things kind of being laid out. My daddy said, my mother said, my brother said, this is what the people said.
I like following directions.
So it's like, okay, great.
And not to say that I'll just go along with anything.
No, exactly. But
I like the option of being led.
And then I'm not around people who was trying to harm me and send me off into some kind of critical situation where I'm going to die and be, you know what I'm saying, taken advantage of or whatever. So the reality of it is that ultimately, I would prefer that you could, choose. Please tell me that you feel like he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me,
so you with it.
I'm with it. I'm with it. I just feel like we have other work to do. We so far removed from that, and we've coupled so much in that is impossible for it to be a collective narrative. So, we all wouldn't agree with that in any capacity. But if we actually had the ability to change up our community and our support and really, really rally together as a community of people, that would be easy money.
Yeah.
Because technically we do that.
We do.
We do that.
I mean,
hey, look, my girl.
That's what the cotillions are for, and
then also too, even on the urban aspect side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so look, girl. So talking to Johnny,
mm-hmm.
Johnny's brother, Richard. Girl, he look good. So what we gonna do is we gonna meet up at the beach,
right.
And I'm gonna bring that's what we do on within the community. So, but if we was, we definitely do. So I'm with that. I'm with that, honey. Choose for me. Tell me, Johnny.
I mean, the thing is, like, you have to talk to people and interact and be outside a little bit,
get to know somebody, like
go to a different space, get to know new people.
How about let's not have sex, please? That is we're gonna come to, because I really wanted to have like a whole episode on the casual sex. It is killing us, y'all. Like, seriously. It is. You can even see sometimes that people is like, you look like you are used up.
Oh,
you haven't ever seen somebody that was like lifeless. Something is not correlating in you. It seems like you have been through a lot in life.
Something is not correlating.
It's not. Self and other things.
It is a casual sex.
No, I mean, of course, it's clearly not just that. But but just even overall,
Here we go. Here's the transition.
But I'm sure you've seen people. You ain't never seen nobody who was just like, wow, they look really
by their
not, and it's not necessarily something that you really can physically see, but it's just,
I should have been sitting like this the whole time.
You can see that there's trauma lingering. It's sometimes it's in their skin. Sometimes it's in their mannerisms. Sometimes it's in their it's like just their response, comprehension, motivation. All of those things coupled in. Sometimes, you can see people and it's just like this. You are used up and spit out, aren't you? And it's unfortunate.
Okay. I probably read it more like you're struggling.
And used up, spit out, you're struggling.
It's just my terminology. I sense a heaviness about you.
Sometimes, and then something, but I was saying that to say, like, if we can just really not jump into that because you're attracted to me and I'm attracted to you, really find out whether or not you like me.
Let's just sit. Like, I feel like you need to meditate with a person or something before.
Because you may not like me. You may see me and be like, she's everything I want. Mannerisms, she like her hair, her nails is flowing, is all of the things.
Yeah.
And then we sit down and have several conversations. And then, or we find ourselves in settings with family, with friends, with associates, business, etc.
And it's not working.
And it's a struggle.
Yeah.
It's like, I am fighting you to even have simple conversations. And this is a horrible dynamic. So please, my sir, dear sir.
Yeah.
I no longer need to communicate with you. Hey.
So okay. So arranged marriage, or at least vetted dating, that'd be a good project.
And I think we're going to come back to that too. We're going to have a couple people on so we can have some deeper conversations.
Project, the TNT project, like a dating pool. It can be
vetting, and we can vet.
Be an actual like pool situation.
I love that.
With a T.
With a little T. TT.
So always a business opportunity afoot.
In every way, there's always one.
But that would just be like a lot of fun too. Setting people up. Okay. Well, where shall we hop to?
Well, honestly, let's jump to, I don't know. It's a lot going on.
So much that it's hard to.
You know, it is so
settle.
crazy because I literally was saying, because today was actually like, it was supposed to be like my rant. And I just had a lot going on. Not even in no sense like that, but just I had a lot going on where I just couldn't sit with my thoughts on like, well, what did I really want to talk about? Because I have so many things that I want to discuss. I'm like, oh my God, I need to discuss this. I need to talk about that.
So let's give us the list. Just go through the list.
Okay. So
you don't even have to elaborate.
Right. So I definitely want to, like I said, I definitely want to discuss the casual dating and, you know, helping our teenagers be responsible in sexual behavior. It's not enough conversation on helping them be successful. We kind of leave them to their own thoughts. And we really need to do better as the elder community. Like, we just got to do better. I would definitely want to discuss that. I definitely want to discuss the actual decision making in science. Like, who said this is now it? Who is that person? This is where I always feel like this is when I be saying them and they. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And it's never an organization because it's like the man behind the curtain in Wizard of Oz. You know what I'm saying? It's like they did their entire travel and got there and realized it was a man behind the curtain.
Yeah, and it's just us. There is no.
So it was. It just, sometimes it goes, and I just wanted to discuss that aspect. It's like definitely the science and who's making the decisions. Now, even on top of that, watching this little documentary, The Shopping Conspiracy, I definitely want to discuss the fact that we are over consuming, overproducing, and we literally are at a all-time high of waste and trash and poison and toxic. That is a crazy situation to me when I think about that. So like I said, I can go on and on and on and on. These are all the things, but I had not sat down and said, you know what, today is this what I really want to discuss, and done my little extra research that I do to make sure we come with the facts and the stats and where you can go and put the links and things.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, you just gotta do that brainstorm, that brain dump.
It's literally like sitting with myself in the morning when I have my Rise coffee. Shout out to Rise Coffee.
I still need to get that. Yes. I actually want to do mud water.
Okay, I heard. You know what? I heard that there actually is really good too.
Yeah.
So I definitely have seen a difference with the Rise Coffee in the mornings. Definitely that focus. You know, my job is completely mental, so you need to be focused.
But I have been using Earl Grey tea.
Okay.
Like as a morning wake up. Black tea has got a hefty amount of caffeine, but I don't know if it's better or same as coffee, but it's got the same amount of caffeine. And but I guess like
with the Rise tea, it's caffeine free.
Okay, caffeine free, right? The mushrooms. I thought it had a little bit in there.
According to the, I don't want to jump up, but according to what I believe, there's no caffeine in it.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
We'll come back and be confirmed. Okay.
Because it is the first of the month. Wake up. Shout out to Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Shout out to Bone Thugs and Harmony 99 in St. Clair.
So we talked about bombshells in the beginning, so we're gonna light a sparkler. For
listen, we about to get all of the antics. Oh God!
So
look, I just got a whole vision. It was like just a whole storyboard. It just went about all the stuff we about to do.
Yeah, so
we're so
TNT
y'all
podcast.
Are gonna enjoy this.
We are the bomb. You are the bomb. We are all bombshells. Yes. We're your two favorite bombshells. And when we do shout outs, we're going to call it lighting a sparkler for our pals. So let's light a sparkler for our hometown heroes,
Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Because it is the first of the month. But I mentioned that in reference to goal setting. So I have some goals that I'm going to reinstitute the achievement journey. One of which I think I might have mentioned this in this conversation, reading. So I'm gonna only watch TV on Saturdays and maybe Sunday, and utilize the weekdays for reading books. I have plenty of books to read, plenty of books I want to read, books that I want to read that I actually own, books that I don't own that I want to read and I can access them through the library. I love the Libby app, the bomb. And so reading, getting back in consistent rhythm with my morning and evening prayers.
Oh.
And what else? Posting 3 times a day on our new global employer.
Yes.
TikTok.
The tickety talk talk.
So posting, reading, the TV. Oh, continue choosing myself.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. And I definitely want to move my body for health.
That's imperative.
Yeah. And just really get back to some basic things. Those are like some basic things that really gave me a lot of momentum at the beginning of the year.
And now it kind of fizzled.
The momentum drummed up a lot of good stuff. But then it's like, okay, how did I get here? I gotta keep doing.
You gotta keep saying I was doing. Yep.
So
that, you know what, and shout out to you for even, laying it out.
A sparkler for me.
Yes, absolutely. So a sparkler for our TC.
Thank you.
No, I think it's imperative because hitting the reset button is nothing wrong with resetting. And I think that sometimes we forget that you can just reset.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't really need to keep trying to figure out what the system say. Go to the setting and unplug the thing. Listen, unplug it.
Air.
Let it maybe breathe for even 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I don't know, whatever. Give it a minute. Let it reset. And then plug back in. Because now I'm able to really see, like, okay, all right, here we are. This is what we're doing.
Right.
And so I think that that's important for growth and what we're trying to do and develop and push ourselves to be, independent and making our own way in our field of study. Literally 100%. But just really ultimately betting on yourself.
Yeah.
And doing the work that it requires to win. And betting on yourself. Because I truly believe, I'm a firm believer in that consistency in anything, there's going to be a result.
Absolutely.
I don't know what the result may be, but we're gunning for something, but we don't know really what this could look like. You get what I'm saying? It's like we already have a vision. We know what we want to do. We want this to look like this. We want this. Maybe we're going to do these sponsors. Ooh, we can get these kind of endorsements. We're going to do these merch. It could, I'm telling you, this journey is gonna come at us, but because we're doing the work and intentionally being prepared for what comes, it's all gonna work out. That is literally going to be our anthem. Let it all work out.
Oh, Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne.
Okay.
Because let it all work out.
Yeah.
What you gonna do? Because the only thing you can do is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You supposed to be getting up, working out, moving, making sure you reading. This is what we're supposed to be doing. Eating right, making sure we're resting, making sure we're being intentional. All these things, like this is what we're supposed to be doing. So if we get back to doing what we're supposed to do every single day, then 100% the success is going to be so at a magnitude and at a level that I ain't even see it. It was something Jay-Z said on the it was I don't even think it was an interview. I think it was just, he was doing a concert and he was just saying like, it's also in the song, like, we ain't even supposed to be here. Like we was the dope boys, and now we in the, you know what I'm saying, in the boardrooms.
Mm-hmm.
The whole concept of it was just the fact that we didn't expect it to be this.
Mm-hmm.
We just knew we wasn't about to do that.
Right.
We wasn't about to keep doing that.
Right.
That's all we did know. And so we knew we wanted to carve out a space and make sure we, you know what I'm saying, that our names was mentioned in some of these rooms. But the reality of it is we ain't know it was going to be this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but hard work and dedication.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to us for doing the work. Shout out to you in this new season for doing the work and realigning. I'm on the same page.
You as well. Yeah,
I'm on the same.
It.
I don't even need to. I really don't even really want to say anything because I'm like this. She said everything she's even saying is exactly the same thing. I'm like, I got to get back on my reading. I got to make sure that I'm doing my walking every morning because like now that I have certain hours in the day free, I'm like, I need to make sure I carve out that time specifically for my workout.
And it's nice walking around here because it's so flat.
Dope. Super dope. It's super dope. It is dope. That was the first thing. The first year we moved in. I'm like, I was hitting busting corners up the street, down the street. People, hey, how you doing? Hey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, no, definitely so.
Gotta move that body though. It's
but
imperative.
There's definitely
that also ties into the brain working and being able to think, you know, oxygen. Yeah, just basic stuff.
Basic stuff
that you're not gonna get playing Fortnite and
no.
Even Minecraft. Minecraft, you build things, you grow things, you farm, but you know you can actually do that. You can actually go outside and put your hands in dirt.
And that's the thing. When you really think about just the primitive time, that's what we supposed to be doing. Nobody had a grocery store where you was going in there to buy the milk. You had to go out there and actually milk the cow. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's work within itself. What we gonna eat for dinner today? Well, we got some beef already because the cows and the chickens and we got all of that stuff was work to live, to eat.
Yeah, everybody should have their own little farm.
Something. I can't wait till we definitely get to start building because I definitely want to do some herbs and different things like that. Like so.
Yeah, what happened to the
compost?
Well, compost, but the person who the seamstress, right? Or the person who makes the fabric, and then the person
you don't even see. You don't even have no conversation with them no more. No. Now you just ban it strictly from the site.
Yeah. Yes,
it arrived
from the air.
And so look, let me mention this really quick before we wrap things up.
Ooh, I love that. That's really, you know, okay.
Oh, and look, we like right on time.
Yeah.
See, y'all, we're doing so much better. Slowly but surely, and surely but slowly.
You know, that really is really okay. We're we got some the right seasoning on the meat. You know, it's coming together.
Absolutely. Okay. The fire is over there burning.
Right.
Okay.
We got the temp.
Okay.
aligned.
So
Yes.
to what you said, because you said back to the basics.
Yeah.
The basics of things. Okay, so I wanted to mention this new company that is not a new company at all, but this company called Fount, Fount. It is a Cleveland-based design house with a focus on fine leather handbags constructed from our signature Italian leather and solid brace hardware. Okay, this is a husband and wife company who literally, and I'm gonna let y'all see it. Because I was like just pleasantly pleased. But anyway, they have places all around. They got one in Southlake, Texas, Columbus, Ohio, Orange Village, Ohio, Westlake, Ohio. So I'm like, I'm in the market for a new bag. I need a new bag, want a new bag, all of the things. So I was waiting on my daughter. So we ended up going, just me and my mom, just kind of doing some window shopping and walking around. And I'm like, let me go in this store. This store looks like a store that has something that I like. It was the aesthetics. It was the name. It was like, yeah, let me go in. Didn't know it was a handbag store. I thought it was like knickknacks for the house. I'm always trying to buy some kind of something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, let me go in here. I mean, you walk in there, it's like, oh, this real leather. oh, these people sell real leather in here. So just talking to the actual.
Remember how we felt we walked into Wilson's back in the day?
Listen, it was like, and it was just it was all of the things. But anyway, my point of bringing them up is because I was telling him that I'm in the market for a handbag, and I didn't want a designer handbag. I don't want it to say whoever you are, whatever your name is. I don't give a fart. That is not my lane. I like quality. I want it to last if I'm going to spend my money on it. Okay. Right. So my mother always used to tell us amazing Italian leather handbags. That's what you should always be looking for. I ran into a store, honey, that is based in Cleveland, and that is what they do. Amazing. So everything, their collections is a basic collection. They gray, brown, and like a black. And then they just did like a summer collection where they gave you like a pastel pomegranate pink. That thing is gorgeous. Okay, but I'm talking about amazing leather hand stitched card. He said they have grown so much that now they can't make it in United States.
Yeah.
He was like, so, but they make it, they outsource to the Dominican Republic. So I was like,
where does the leather come from?
Huh?
Where does the leather come from?
Italy.
Okay.
Yep. So literally, I'm like, I just thought this was a dope company because we tend to get so caught up in like labels and, oh, I got this on. Oh, it's a Gucci purse. It's a Chloe purse. It's a Ferragamo and all of the names, right? We got all of the names. In my mind, I just remember growing up like loving just quality pieces because that's what my mother used to buy. It's like quality pieces. So I just want us to get back to the basics, even in our aesthetics, even in our clothes. Let's get back to individuality. Go and get dressed and have a look. I'm tired of us all looking the same. So running into this store where all the bags were just basic leather handbags that was nicely quality made, it just reminded me of how the fact that we really don't have like a unique style anymore. Like now we really like base everything is trendy.
It's a few people making some things that everybody wears.
It thoroughly. And it's so crazy. So I'm like, let's get back to quality pieces, basic operation.
Mm-hmm. How about like I want all my clothes to have my name on them. Like
there's
the
Jay
incomparable Jerome.
Okay. Jerome Williams. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Every item we wear. Listen, when I seen that, I said, I knew I liked you. Didn't know really what it was.
I was like, is that your face?
And I said the same thing. I remember it was a tracksuit. He had a tracksuit and it was like right on his shoulder. And I was like, standing over here, I'm like, is this your logo on your tracksuit? And he was like, oh yeah. He's like, oh no, I have an embroider. She stitches everything I own. I said, so everything you buy, you have her stitch.
Yes.
He has her stitch the name and the logo.
And that's a look.
That it is a look.
It's curated, it's personalized, it's custom, it's very specific.
I love that. Because even like as like one of his children, if I was one, I would keep certain pieces. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's just like memorabilia. Yeah. You know, that's special.
And that reminds me, I just thought of it while we were talking. My uncle is a graphic design, industrial design artist. He could actually make us some.
We might have to sit down with him and have a meeting.
We had a podcast and he did the logo for it.
Well, we definitely going to sit down with him.
So, yeah, reach out to your people.
Yes, because we all know somebody who do something and got something going on.
Right. So, and you met the owner of this company?
No, I didn't meet the owner of the company. I met their amazing staff.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
He just, the way you can tell that they clearly are close because the way he was talking about her was like she right there in the stove every day.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, Jackie and such and such. I'm like this. Oh, okay, her name Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He was giving me all the rundown, so I was like, so shout out to Fount, Cleveland-based company, quality hand, Italian leather handbags.
We look forward to viewing an item on the show as you.
Yes, I am definitely purchasing.
Representative.
I already told him. He seen me pick up the one bag. He was like this. He said, "Your person. You look like you." I said, "This is me. It's speaking to me."
I have tried to be a purse person just as I have attempted to be a wig person, and it just doesn't
never quite curl over.
Like I can do like a side
situation, like a chain bag, coin bag, crossbody bag,
a shoulder. Yeah, crossbody is good. Shoulder, no.
Okay,
no. I don't want to carry anything. I just don't want to carry things.
I get you.
I like pockets. Pockets get bulky. You look weird.
Yeah, and that's why I can't.
And then you're heavier.
And it's like,
But yeah, I love the look though. I love the look, the smell. The purses are cute. You can find some really, really cute, dope things.
Yes.
Really nice shapes and very creative and amazing colors. It's just, I'm like, this is an extra thing that I don't want. I like looking at it though, but yeah.
I feel you.
I'm just very I'm an air sign. I know you don't do astrology, but I really embody, like, my soul really speaks to being unencumbered.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Well, of course. Well, I can totally understand, and I can actually relate to that, because I think that's also too why I don't like, the big bags, even though I carry a big bag.
Your look signals big bag. Remember last time we were talking about the trench and the sweatshirt hoodie up under that?
That is so me.
Yeah,
all of that.
That goes with that Mary Kate Ashley look.
That is so funny. Why she do me like that, y'all? She said that Mary Kate and Ashley look.
They're like the epitome of like that boho chic,
basic,
designer.
But you like this. Oh, she's really fancy, fancy,
clean lines.
That's what I love. I want to look like I got a lot of money. Mm-hmm. I got $3, but we're gonna go and look like we got.
Bring in $3 billion because
we about to look like we $3 billion. Okay, I literally sometimes go to places to get dressed, and people literally, and I get compliments from. I don't want to discriminate or anything, but I do get a lot of compliments from like white women. Mm-hmm. That's who will compliment me. Like, I love that.
Isn't that the goal of Black people?
In no capacity.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm like, not me.
I mean, but back in the day,
no, because when my girls,
the praise of a white woman.
No, when we go out and my girls will be somewhere and you be like, waiting for them to be like, oh, girl, you doing it, and it's like this. So y'all nobody think I'm cute. Ain't nobody thought y'all ain't think I put that thing on today. And it's like, bitch, yeah, you cute. It's like, oh, okay. All right.
Let me know.
But exactly. But no, I do get a lot of compliments when I put all my stuff on.
I would like to have fun. And I have some ideas in my mind. I just need to pull them out and actually execute on my physical person. But I do want to begin to have fun with look. Yeah. Not even fashion, just look. Like, how can I?
And that's what, but even too, that's what fashion, that is fashion.
Yeah. But I don't want to, not getting caught up in a label, but actually the style. I think
that's exactly what we have separated from, is the fashion of it all and the styling of it all. We too busy, we couple that into the branding and the name of it.
So much so, it's like, who are you?
And this is even today when we was out shopping, literally, because I'm like, okay, well, she needs some stuff for work. So I'm like, we went into the couple of stores and whatever. So I didn't intend to find anything, because I was going to go to the particular stores I knew that I can go to buy her what she needed. Went into this random store and they had everything she needed. and it was 70% off about the on top of that.
There you go.
So I was like, let the church say amen. Like, but it was different. The thing she picked up, I've never seen her pick up. I didn't know you like stuff like that. She was like, I do. That told me she does buy things strictly based off of what her friends and stuff wear. Because she said it very like, I do. Like this, almost like, well, this is kind of like my personal style, but, you know, not really comfortable with exuding that. So, but
well,
we're going to wrap things up, you guys.
We're getting a signal from production
that it is time to wrap it. So, just want to say thank you guys for joining in each and every week. Bombshells, a boom, sparkler boom, boom. For you.
Yes.
Gold star for Marcus.
Here's a love bomb.
Dinner was yummy.
All right.
Okay.
I don't know what that was, but
something happened.
Bye. Thank you.
Love you guys.
Peace.